All right, let's get it. What's up, guys? All right, so first let's go over the indices. Okay, so let's look at the weekly chart. Can everybody hear me good over the music? All right, bet. So weekly chart. Okay, so this is we've had this drawn for pretty much ever, right? Basically what we're looking at right now on the weekly chart is just this giant channel, right? Got a channel all the way down pretty much since the start of the year. First week of the year, red, right? And just ever since then, that was the all-time highs of the market. And then we just pretty much had to move down. So, we've been bouncing off this lower end here. At first, it was like, up to this point here, it looked decent on this candle. Then we dumped down, fake down, made new low. So, now we're, and when you're drawing channels on like a higher time frame, guys, like the weekly, it's okay if you draw it like this. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to line everything up perfectly, right? This is roughly where I would have it placed either way. Okay. But anyway, what I would like to have, right, is basically this reaction here off of this 200 MA, right, on the weekly be the bottom signal of the market. Okay. And this was right around the time that I was posting a lot of the reasons that I thought the market was going to be bottoming around here too. So you guys got to remember the 200 moving average, like historically, is the biggest thing that funds will look to have algos to buy on the daily and the weekly time frame, right? The weekly, last time it was here, or a few times ago when it was here, was 2011, right? You never saw it return there until 2016, right? Never saw it return there until what, 2018. Okay, never saw it return there again until COVID, right? And then since hasn't returned. So what we're looking for, right, is that basically move up again off of that 2022 now 200 MA on the weekly. Okay. So, it's been quite a while since then, since that move up already. We've already had, a 13% move on ES, right? SPY. So we'll see what happens. Someone said bottom for how long? Market can't truly bottom until Fed stops raising rates. You guys got to realize that hedge funds are only pricing things in for at least 6 to 12 months into the future. Okay. Why do you guys think that there was a sell-off at the beginning of the year before they even started to really hike the rates high? Because they knew that that was going to start going into this year, right? So the market recovers. Someone just said it. Yep, Simon said it. The market recovers before Fed rates start to slow down. Okay. So that's what we're already seeing here. So anyway, that's the chart. We're at this upper band. We rejected the 50 moving average. Let me take off the 20. We don't really need it. We rejected this 50 moving average. Here's the indicators I use, 50 and 200 back in August. So if we reject that again here, we'd hopefully want a higher low, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if we continue to rip this week. If we do continue to rip this week, that will be very good, because if I made this trend line a little bit more exact, right, we'd really have that breakout here. We'd also break out that 50 moving average. So that's where we're at on ES. Let's look at NQ. So NQ is a little bit weaker. It actually hasn't recovered as much. This is pretty much the channel that you're in on NQ, right? For the most part. Again, doesn't have to be exact for weeklies. You could move it like this, whatever you want, right? When you're playing a weekly time frame, you don't have to get the exact spot right, because you're usually holding for a longer period of time. But anyway, if we do get to see the same breakout, that would be beneficial as well. But tech got hit pretty hard. A lot of stocks that are holding up ES are not tech stocks, right? So you got a lot of industrial names in there, healthcare names, etc. So tech still has a while to go. I'm looking for that 12K break this week. Ideally, the target for NQ would be around 13K, 12,900, something like that. So like right here, that 50 moving average too. And if you see, that lines up with this previous low here, and a little bit of a chop range here too. The Russell's strongest right now, and the Dow, I think, is the strongest, is what I meant to say. Yep. The Russell small caps starting to recover, which is good. You saw we had that double bottom on small caps. So small caps have had a huge bounce off of this 1650 support roughly again. And, same thing, looking to clear that 50 MA. So you guys can see that this 50 MA is really coming in on pretty much all these fucking indices. Okay. Now look at the Dow. The Dow is the strongest right now. What did I tell you guys? When you're going into or approaching a recession or coming out, the Dow is always going to be the strongest because those are where a lot of the names are, right? The industrial names or the names that took the biggest hit, right, during COVID. So as we're really getting out of this pandemic, a lot of these names are starting to recover and you'll see the Dow explode. So the Dow is really, really not too far off all-time highs, right? It's only down 6.5%, barely anything, okay? So while it does seem super overextended, you could see a continuation in that as well. So anyway, that's just the basic overview of the market. It's good that on the daily here, ES SPY had a nice consolidation, right? Obviously Friday was a little bit crazy, but that huge move up, you guys notice, right? The market was pretty much staying in this zone, right? Since the middle of November, okay, until the end, right, of November. And then what happened? We had that huge move up on Powell, right? An inside day pretty much, right? At that 50 MA on the weekly, at that day, at this daily rejection here as well, around 4,100, right? And then we had that big move down, but bulls bought it right back up right at this top of that previous breakout. Okay, so again, this is all just looking good pretty much on the higher time frames for a consolidation and another move up. So still bullish, not really bearish. No real reason to be yet. So that's it for the indices. So let's go over some individual names. God, you guys keep asking about UNG. So natural gas is just down huge. I mean, it's going to be probably a loss. So I mean, it's going to gap down to here, probably 17, 18, 17. So why not roll over? There's no point in rolling over because there's no good news. I'm not gonna basically when I don't like to keep adding to a play that keeps going down. I'll do it once or twice max, and then that's it. I'm not gonna. You could take a longer term play here, but I'm not gonna waste buying power. December is usually a good month for me, so I'm not gonna waste buying power on that for the most part. That's why. So just get out ASAP. I'm gonna post what to do. I always tell you guys exactly what I do. I've never missed a play where I don't tell you guys what to do. So just wait. Yeah, I'll tell you what to do. Again, size appropriately, right? The only reason that I don't care about too many plays that I'm in is because I diversify in a lot of them. So if one go, I told you guys, right? If you have 3 or 4 different sectors that you're in, you only need really 2 of them to hit, at least if you're trading the way I do, because those will go over 100% on the swings that we have, right? You guys saw this week, we hit multiple 300, 400% plays, like multiple. And that's all you need. So that's how I trade, those are swings. So that's why, a lot of my trades, a lot of people, they complain sometimes too, because they're like, oh, we're down like 40, 50%. Well, every single play I have is a potential play, if it's not a scalp at least, for at least 150, 200%. And I don't say that to go for the percent. I say that because that's just how I trade the daily chart. So that's pretty much it. Anyway. So we did the indices, we did natural gas. Let's take a look at CL, right? So CL had a nice little move up too, off that double bottom as well. CL looking to have another breakout potentially to 83, 84 again this week. That would be nice, especially with China opening up. Maybe we'll see some more momentum there. So we'll see what happens. I don't cut my swings based on percent, only the chart. All right. So let's just go down the list. I'm going to go down the list here. First, we're going to go over my favorite play of the week that I told you guys about. Alcoa AA. This is my I'm not doing $100 challenge. That's a joke. That's just a literal fucking joke. If you guys thought I was doing that, it's a joke, by the way. Anyway, AA. Okay, so aluminum, I'm extremely bullish on metals going into the end of the year, especially into the beginning of next year. So a lot of metals, I think, will have a potential nice move up. If you guys take a look and zoom out at the weekly chart as well, right? It looks like it's super overextended, right? It does look like it's super overextended here, and we're looking to come into some resistance, but this is also potentially good because we had 1, 2, 3 weeks at the top here of consolidation, right? With this big bar up, another increase in volume as well. So once we get that 52, you guys can see on the volume shelf, right? This is the volume profile right here, right? Once we clear that 51 level, there's really nothing till 56, even up to 60. So that's really what we're looking at on this AA trade. So it looks great. Nice consolidation, nice green bar on AA right there. All right, next. So let's look at airlines, AAL. It's being recorded, so I'm going to upload it. Don't worry. If you missed anything, I'll put it on YouTube. American Airlines looks pretty good, right? Airlines should have an uptick tomorrow just based on China as well with back and forth. So we'll see what happens there, but nice consolidation on the weekly for American Airlines. We're zoomed in now on the daily, right? But if you look at the weekly, obviously what? Bull flag. Okay, so when you have something like this on the daily, this means that when you zoom out to the weekly, you're going to have a bull flag because what is it? It's just straight consolidation, right? When we draw these lines on the daily, you can see it clear as day too. Okay. So airlines on watch as well. I'm not going to do every name. So let me just like go through some of these. Apple looks good. You know, this is the first time that when we came up, we made an even low here. And then when we came up this time, what did we make here, guys? We made a higher low. Right? So we made a higher low here. If we made a higher low, that is a bullish sign because then we had to move up. Now we're basically looking to do what? Break out of this downtrend that we have. So, 150 is a very hard level for Apple. And that's the level that's going to have to be on watch going into this week. Once we clear above there, we can get back to that 155. But again, that 200 MA is here as well. Yeah, I'm going down the list alphabetically of like names that I like. Very upset about this one, AMC. I tweeted this out on Tuesday or Wednesday. You can go back. I don't remember what day, right? Beautiful consolidation here. Strong support on the lows. Just wasn't in. And we got that takeoff on Thursday. So, got a little upset. We missed that, but now it looks like shit. I will say, these meme stocks, basically what you do is, if it does look good, the best time to get in meme stocks, right, is when you have consolidation like this, because there's two reasons, right? Number one, the pattern looks good from a charting aspect, TA, right? But also, when you play options, if you have, we all know that like meme stocks have huge IV, right? They have bigger implied moves than other names. But when you have consolidation like this before, that means that that IV is now not as high, right? So what happens is you're able to get cheaper premiums on a lot of options, but then when it pops back up again, you get an explosion. So those were like freaking 800,000% trades just on this day. Okay. Anyway, nothing I like now because you missed it. So that, once you miss it, that's you shit out of luck. It look, kind of looks like weird right now. It's not really favorable. AMD looks kind of good. It's kind of in a bull pennant almost. Oops. But we have this little wedge, right? Little flaggish wedge that's forming here. So, if it can get back, I always use the volume profile. You can see on the right here. If it can get back above like 77, I'd probably long it for a preamp breakout back to 80, but not too sure. I already did UNG, guys, so you can watch the recording when it's uploaded later. Let's do Amazon. Amazon kind of weak, like no cap for some reason. Not as strong as the other names, but it's holding this level right here. And then we pretty much have, from that gap down on earnings, this level. Right. So, I don't like it at all. So, yeah, that's it. I just don't like Amazon at all. So I'm not going to do anything about it. ATVI looks pretty good. Not in a position. Boeing, this is my favorite play. In addition to AA, I mean, I couldn't have called this one better, right? I mean, this was simple, guys. It was very easy. This play was really literally one of the easiest in the book. Here's your floor, right? Here is your flag. Okay. I caught this move here. This was a back test. Okay, we swung some calls. And then we entered some more here, right? At the sorry, we entered some more. I entered some more on Friday at the beginning of the day, but I waited for confirmation to signal more until 177. The reason I waited until more is because me personally, I like to take on a little bit more risk, but when I'm signaling some stuff, sometimes I like to wait a bit to add, especially on a Friday. And the reason for that is on a Friday, you kind of need to wait for that close. Why are you guys saying do BA? I'm literally doing BA. Hello? Anyway. Here's the high, right? So once we crossed this level during the day, took some calls. I told you guys my thesis, that China was reopening. I think we're going to get some more orders from some other airlines, etc. Just because there's a lot of more volume coming in from airport hub to airport hub. Anyway, we got that move up. Extremely happy about that. It was like 400% on weeklies. The swing trade we have went to 250, 300%. I'm still holding a shitload of those. I even bought some 185. So, yeah, we should see a good move. So, yeah, I mean, Boeing, their target again is right up here. You guys can see this was the low. This is the low. This is the low. This is the low. Boom, it breaks down and then breaks down, retest, breaks down. So, remember, previous levels come into play. So our target's 186 for the week. Okay. Baba. Love Baba. I love China. I fucking love China. I keep telling you guys fucking China, right? This stock's going to be up another 4 or 5% probably tomorrow. China's currently up fucking 6.5% right now. Like absolutely fucking ripping. So, not much to say, man. I just love China. I've been telling you guys, China. It is hard. Like, so I had swings on Badoo, which we'll go over in a minute. And I caught this entire move, right? I'm going to switch to Badoo and show you it, but Baba, Badoo, same shit, different toilet. This is a great move to catch. And when you catch a move like this, right, because it's consolidated. Okay. When it consolidates like this, right? And then you get that triangle breakout, same thing kind of as we had on BA, right? These are going to be the moves that you want to hold, especially names that are beaten and abused, okay? So when you have a name that's beaten and abused like this, and you get these continual gaps up, okay, it's going to warrant some consolidation needed for a good entry on the next one. Okay, so we get this big gap up, right? Another huge move here, consolidation, getting ready for another move. So what I said and what I've been posting and telling you guys, right, is that I thought going into the holiday season that China would open up. And the reason for that is you guys got to realize a shitload of products still come from China. Okay, a shitload of products still come from China. So if China's still going to be locked down and not having everything open, warehouses, etc., they're missing out on a shitload of export money as well. Their market has been, let's just go over their market real quick. I'm sorry if I'm taking time away from other names, but it's super important to understand global economics. Okay. And China's actually at that 200 MA right now as well. Okay. But anyway, we get these gaps up, right? As soon as you see this consolidation here, okay, this is where you want to play, 2-3 weeks out and hold. Okay, weather the storm, especially when you have some fundamentals that could be backing you up. Whole time that the market's going up, the US market, right? China's been close. You guys got to realize once China's back on, everything's on the table again. A lot of people don't like to think about global economics. They're only looking at China, the US. They're only looking at rates in the US. They're not looking at Europe as much. There's a tweet that just came out now. Hong Kong stocks head for 3-month high as global funds buy Alibaba, Tencent after China signals move to reopen economy. So right there, I mean, look at this gap up. This is fucking 6% move up. Huge moves from the lows. I mean, overall, they're still down massively. Like, look at this. This is China tech. It's just terrible. Like since COVID, like that's they had that big run up after COVID and then just crashed. But once China pivots, it's a huge buy, guys. It's a huge buy. So anyway, what I'm kind of getting into here is it's very hard to take new plays though, on China here because you don't know when there's going to be a slight pullback, right? So any play you do, you got to be willing to risk a little bit more percent wise. So that's why, when you're taking this play, you have to hold it because you want to capture the most you can from the move. So I still have some Badoo, which we'll go to now. I've been riding Badoo. I told everybody, I posted on Twitter for free. I posted it in Telegram, right? I entered here at 95, 96. I told everybody, I'm looking for 100. And then on this day, when we opened up around here, I told everybody I'm looking for 105. We hit that within 2 days. And now we're sitting at 113, 114. Tomorrow we'll probably open around 118, 119. $100 calls, guys, for this week were like $1 something last week. Okay. I'm still holding. So I'm going to have 1,800% trade. Right. And I'm still holding because when the fundamentals line up with the technicals, those are the types of trades that you want to hold and capture a full move. A lot of people are like, oh, how do I know when to sell? I sold too early, yada, yada, yada. There's just different ways to trade. So that's how I trade. I like to hold pretty much everything I have for at least 2 to 3 days. I take one trim usually before, and that's it. Don't get assigned the shares. Yeah, I sold most of it. I will say, I mean, let's be real, guys. I had $100 call. It went to 113, 114. I sold most of them for like $1,200, $1,300. So that's like, over 1,000%. It was a little less than 1,000 because it was like cost me like 140, 150, something like that. Anyway, you get the idea, right? Anyway, let's go back to the names. We really wasted a lot of time there, but it's important. Cat looks good. I like Cat this week too. Look at Cat. This is a great, I'm gonna set an alert. Right. I'll probably just take calls, honestly, if Cat opens green, right off the open. Right. This is the pattern that I look for. This is the pattern I like. Right. We're at this previous level here. We break this, we're basically going to all-time highs. Okay. So I will buy a 245, I buy a 250, 245 debit spread for 2 weeks out, or 2 or 3 weeks out. I'll probably do, or 245, 240, something like that. I'll post. I go over stuff that I like. Coin. Maybe. See, my whole thing is like this is how I trade. Okay, guys, like look at this and you might say, okay, like it just broke out of this bear flag. Maybe it's going to invalidate it and go up. To me, like I don't like longing this, number one, because I'm right here, right at this previous low. So it's a resistance. Number two, because there's just so much volume here. Like, how do you know where it's going to stop? Like, is it going to stop here? Is it going to stop here? Is it going to stop here? Like it's not clear. There's no straight away for this stock for me. So for that reason, I'm out. I like CRM. I know they had a bad earning. It wasn't even a bad earnings. It just wasn't as good as last year's. So I like CRM at this level here. Do have some, I think I bought 150 debit spreads for this week. But I want to long this. If it gets back above here, I'll probably signal it to everybody. But I took some riskier ones. I don't post everything, obviously. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Weed stocks are on watch also this week because Biden just signed the marijuana, like fucking, I don't know, decrim bill or some shit he signed. So, you know, look at weed stocks. They've been in this fucking crazy range, research bill or whatever. Yeah, cool. So that, I mean, that's good. That's just bullish overall, right? For weed. So, you know, above here, like you could take like 2 month out swings, you know, back to $5, something like that. I don't know. Three month out, sorry. CVS. Yeah, CVS. This looks great. Look at this. Let's go back to that weekly. Right? Look at this on CVS. Looks awesome. All right, so big breakout here. So let's put CVS on. We'll get it above like another dollar up. Same thing though, consolidation right above here. That might be a call right at the open, to be honest. CVX consolidating, nothing too much. Delta Airlines looks great, even better than AAL. Right, but same thing. Once we break here, whoops, shit. Oh shit. Once we break up here, okay, that's when we should see a continuation back up towards that 38, you know, $40 level. All right, I didn't want to do this really long, so let me just do a couple more. All right, Google's one of my favorite for this week. I like $100 calls, even though they're in the money. If you want to be risky, you could try 105 calls. That's super risky though. But the safest play would be a 102 break, play 103 calls, something like that. But I like Google back to this level, which is obviously 105, right? So that's where I'm looking for this week. HD and UNH. HD looks great. Big consolidation here. Same thing. Right. We had a nice consolidation, move down. Big move up. Nice consolidation right below that 330 level, right above 330. That's an auto long. Above 330, long it. I'll even add it to my list. All right, I really gotta go. Let's just do a couple more. Then I want to upload this. Where the fuck's Meta? Oh, it's still FB. I don't like Meta because, again, it's at this level here. Like, I don't know. It's a weird spot for me. I don't know. It's probably gonna go to 127 though, but I just don't like it. FDX looks good for the gap fill. You know, just right back to 196. Google I already did. What else? Oh, I don't have HUD on here. Oh, no, I do. I love HUD. I love HUD here. I just like this evaluation at this higher low, right? We have this nice little GP here, nice GP bounce. So my target from here is, you know, back to that 1130 level, but really I'm just looking for 1050. All right, I'll do a couple more and that's it. Just start throwing some names out and that's it. I'm gonna record it and upload it to YouTube. Tesla, I only like it if it gets back above 200. EA, I already did. I mean, it's just, you know, consolidating looks good. This stock moves too slow for me to play it. There's no point. UNG, I already did. Netflix has this gap fill right here to 333. So that'll probably hit this week. Disney. Yeah, Disney looks really good. This looks great. Right? You have this nice channel here. Boom, breakout. Get back above that. Disney above that $100 mental level probably runs back to 102. And then we have somewhere, you know, just around this level here, probably. Usually, let's see. Well, if you look at the volume profile, right, really 103 and then just 105. Costco. What day is the earnings? On Thursday. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I'll probably take Costco earnings, but I don't know. I'll post it if I do. Shopify. Yeah, I love shop here. This is the weekly chart. It looks great. Um, for a move back, just like up. I mean, the good thing about this shop chart, right? You see there's not a lot of volume compared to how long it's been down here. So like this could really just like I'm looking for 50 this week, maybe even, 60, 62 going into the end of January, right? So like literally like a 50% move up. If this name can start to get some momentum. What else? Come on, and then I'm done. Snap. Hey Brad, I hope all is well. Can you continue to post the futures trades? No, I'm just doing the auto trade for it now. For now, signals are too crazy with futures. Why don't you ever discuss puts? You never seem to discuss a move down. I'm not bearish at all. When I'm bearish, you'll know. I tell you when I'm bearish. I'm only bearish when there's fundamentals that should lead me to be bearish. Right now, everything is pointing bullish pretty much with China. Morgan Stanley just upgraded China stocks on reopening. Great. That's going to be a huge move. Anyway, let me do Snap and then that's it. I'm done. Snap. It's a weird chart. I mean, this was nice to take, kind of like this bear flag, right? Invalidation. So you have a bear flag here, and then it just breaks up. But yeah, I don't like Snap until it gets back over 11 bucks. XOM. Yeah, it's consolidating here. Just not a good play for me personally. ARK. All right, I'll do ARK. Fine. ARK. I like ARK. I'm invested in ARK. I'm invested in Kathy Wood's fund. Actually, you can do it straight through Titan. You can actually invest in her directly instead of buying the stock, which is pretty cool. Lulu. Looks great. It's just a little overextended for me here. You have this resistance. Oh, you have this resistance here, right? From here, all these wicks down here was support. Now it's resistance. Now it's resistance. So if you're going to take Lulu, you don't have too much upside. You only have 2% before we run into a big zone. So that's it. All right, that's it. Let's see. I'm going to upload this onto YouTube, guys. So I'll post it when it's done uploading. And hope you guys have a great week trading.